friends, welcome to my channel. Let's get crafting. These are the 3 items that I picked up from my local thrift store. Now these have been sitting on the shelves for some time as I go through and look for new things to pick up and transform, and so I knew that people just don't want to pick these up because they look a little old and outdated. So I'm going to show you all today how I'm going to take these 3 items and turn them into something really special, and each one of them was under $2. And this house first we're going to be working on, I painted it all white to get it a nice coat to cover up all of the patterns and the things that were all over it. And I'm going to just take these popsicle sticks from the Dollar Tree. I'm cutting off the tops and bottoms to make sure that the stick's length is the right size for the house. And then with some hot glue, I'm just going to glue them on to the roof. Now for this part of the house, it has a really weird angle, and how I'm going to be doing that is I'm taking some cardstock. I just laid it flat up against the edge of the roof, and then I traced it and cut it out to create a template so that I can be able to cut out some popsicle sticks that will also work for that space. Now where the roof and that little domer meet up with each other, it's even tighter, and so I'm just taking a piece of cardstock again, and with my nail I'm going to crease down the line to make sure I've got the right size that I need for it. And then I'm also going to make sure that I check my pattern so that way I don't have any issues with them being the wrong size. I think pattern making can be really easy, but if you get it wrong, it can be really tricky. So I'm making sure I'm doing it right. And then I'm going to take some more of those popsicle sticks where I chopped off the tops and bottoms, line them all up, lay down my pattern, and then I'm going to cut out the pieces that I need so that I can glue those last little pieces into place on the roof. I think using popsicle sticks on craft projects are the coolest because it gives you that wood farmhouse look if you love that style, which I do. So I'm just using these popsicle sticks to create a really pretty rooftop on this little house. Once I've got those on the rooftop, I'm then going to go ahead and move on to the domer, or this pointed part of the roof that's a little more tricky, and I'm going to again just keep cutting them out once I've traced them with my pattern and using a lot of hot glue because you don't want them to pop off over time. I'm just gluing them all down really nice and tight, and you can see there that I'm going over the roof line just a little bit to have an overhang so you don't notice the original roof line. You're going to see the popsicle sticks more. Now on the very tops of the roof, I wanted to hide some of those sticks that don't line up super perfectly because I'm using my scissors. I'm just going to take a couple more popsicle sticks at the very tops and create a nice finished look. Once everything is glued onto the top, I went ahead and moved on to the trim of the house. Now when I first started painting this black, I was a little nervous because I don't know why, I just was, and I kept thinking, oh, it would have been really cute if I painted the house blue and did white trim with light wood. So there are lots of different possibilities, but after I just kept following, you know, what I was wanting to do in my head, it ended up working out really well. So I painted all the trim black, and then I made a wood stain to go on top of that popsicle sticks, just using some brown, tiny bit of black paint with some water, and I'm just going over those popsicle sticks to create more of a darker wood look. And then as you can see here, I'm holding a napkin underneath it, so any drip off or runnage is going to go right into the napkin versus getting on the white paint of the house. Then on the front of the house, to make it even cuter, I added a door. Followed the same steps where I cut them down to size. I did 4 vertical and then 2 horizontal, and I just love the way it looks. I also wanted to add some little flower boxes to the fronts of the houses, so I again cut down the popsicle sticks. I'm going to take some of this moss, I'm going to glue it on to the little flower box, and then I'm going to add in some little plants to make it look like it's a little flower box on the front of the house. I think at this point the project started to come to life for me. I was still really nervous with the black trim, but as I kept playing with it more and more, I fell in love with this project. I think that's the best part about DIYs, is that it can be a little nerve-wracking when you're first starting, but as you keep playing with things and you personalize them, it starts to come to life, and you can just see. You can imagine where you can put it in your home. I know exactly where I want to put this, which is on my piano. I think that's going to be the prettiest place to put this. Now, once I got all of the flower boxes done, I went ahead and created a wreath. I just was going around in a curved motion to create a circle with hot glue. I took it a little bit at a time because you don't want the hot glue to dry. And then I just kept adding moss onto those curved strips of the hot glue that I'm putting down. And then I'm taking some of this boxwood that I cut up from a greenery plant that I had from a long vine, and I'm just adding that on, as well as some little dainty white flowers that I picked up from the Dollar Tree. And once I have them all on here, it looks like this cute little farmhouse wreath, which I just adore so much. Now, I could leave it like this, where it's just the flower boxes and the wreath on the front door, but I wanted to embellish the top just a little bit more. So I'm going to take some more of that boxwood from that vine that I had, that I picked up from Hobby Lobby a while ago, and I'm just going to take some of the sprigs, cut them off, and then hot glue them onto the top. I'm doing 2 on each sides. There's 2 that are longer, 2 that are shorter, and then I'm adding a bow to the top to complete the finished look of this house. In the month of March, I'm hosting 2 new challenges. I will link that video with the invites down below. They're really fun challenges. Make sure you check it out. And today I'm participating in Casey from Coffee with My Sunshine, as well as Lisa from Lisa and Company. Over the weekend, they had a playlist go live, which is Trash to Treasure. I'm a little late to the party, but I wanted to make sure that I played along. They're linked down below, as well as the playlist with all the other women playing along. So make sure you go check them both out on the playlist. All right, we're going to be moving on to this next one, where you saw that I spray painted it black first. Then I put down some painter's tape in a little plus sign, and then I spray painted the whole thing white on the inside and out. We're going to be making a first aid kit box. These boxes are all over the thrift stores. I find them all the time, and I thought it would just be so cute. And again, this is a knockoff idea. These boxes, you can find them all over the place online, but they charge so much for them. It's crazy. I think the cheapest I've seen them are 30 bucks. And I just think that's outrageous. I ended up picking up this box again for under $2. So I'm just gonna take some of my stickers from the Dollar Tree. I always like to put them on a ruler or of some kind of a flat surface to make sure I line them all up. I'm just putting down first aid kit, and then I'm taking some Mod Podge to make sure that my stickers don't ever come up. I'm gonna just go ahead and seal them in. And then to make sure that there's not just a weird, paint line there where you see the Mod Podge, I'm going to go over the whole front surface of the box to make sure everything is nice and sealed in and it looks consistent. If you're new and you're popping over from that playlist, welcome. My name is Heidi with Happily Thriving Heidi, and I post 3 times a week, Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. Don't forget to come over and say hi to me on Instagram as well. I love to connect with people over there. It's a more personal setting, and it's the easiest way to get a hold of me if you have any questions. For my last DIY, I'm going to take this tray that, again, was under $2. I've seen it a ton of times at the thrift store. I knew that this was something that people just did not want to take home. And I thought, I can give it a better personality than what it's at, the status of at the moment. And so I'm taking some of this painter's tape and I'm going to tape off the sides. The curved edges were a little bit trickier, and I knew there was probably going to be some bleed. So I was trying to make sure I got in there nice and tight in those crevices. And once I had that, what I thought was going to be pretty good, I went ahead and figured out the spacing of my stripes and where I wanted them to be. And I went ahead and laid down nice long strips of the painter's tape. This is an important part to make sure your stripes look nice and the same size, I guess, is what I'm trying to say. I like to make sure that they're spaced out well. So go ahead and figure out the measurements, lay down those nice straight lines, and then go ahead and cover off the rest of the white tray. I went ahead and spray painted it with a dark gray, as you can see here, and then when I pulled back the painter's tape, sure enough, there was some bleed through. And this happens all the time with me with painter's tape, but that's okay. I decided to go back in and touch up a couple little spots because I wanted it to have a nice finished look. Once I touched up everything, I went ahead and let it dry for a few minutes, and then took some brown paint with a dry brush technique that I show here a lot on my channel. I love this effect because it really ages things. I went ahead and dry brushed on some brown paint to distress it a little bit more, and then I'm going to take some of this Mod Podge and go ahead and rub that all over. I also forgot to mention I did rough it up with a little bit of sandpaper to give it a nice weathered look. Thanks so much for watching this video today. Leave a comment down below to let me know which was your favorite project that I did. Don't forget to give this video that thumbs up, and until the next episode, bye friends!